Hi, I'm Sangwa from Eason Music and welcome to another episode of EMTV. And today we are going to talk about these things. These are called yangqin beaters and we call them qinzhus in Chinese. A lot of beginners they have queries about yangqin beaters because they do not know what are the differences between different types of qinzhu. And I must admit that I also know nuts about qinzhu, and I'm very glad to have with me here today Anson Lim.
Hello.
Anson is one of our yangqin instructors in Eason Music and he has years of experience playing the yangqin. So today I'm going to ask him what he looks out for in the qinzhu, and also he's going to test out the different kinds of qinzhu that we have. Thanks for coming, Anson.
Thanks for having me. So, if you may,
Right.
Okay. So what do I look for in a yangqin stick is that, okay, I would say in three parts: the head, the body, and the handle, where we grip the sticks. So the head and the grip, the handle, should have around the same weight. Okay, so because what I look in a stick that it must be heavy enough and it must be long enough. So when I grip it and when I play, the head should feel around the same with the grip, because the heavier the head, the easier it is to produce more crisp and clear sound. And then the body itself mustn't be too soft or too, because back then people used to take a penknife and then they make it thinner. Yeah. So right now what we choose is to have a more sturdy body, but doesn't bend downward. It's either straight or bend upward. So that's the weight portion. So what about the length? The length is that when I play, it should be comfortably sitting around, it'll be comfortably sitting around the middle for me. But then you think, hey, but there's so many makers for different sticks. Which length is more suitable? So if you can compare with other sticks that you have, is that actually they all come in around the same length. So they all come in the same length as compared to what we have back then. So makers have taken this into consideration. So we will be looking more into the weight between the different sticks and the flexibility of different sticks.
Okay. So do people still use that penknife and strip it down so it's flexible?
Not the kids nowadays. I remember, every time when I start teaching, I will encourage my students to use sturdier sticks, and then they will say, oh hey, I used to see people carving it, making it thinner. Then I would discourage that kind of action, because back then it all comes down to playing and the music style. Back then they do a lot of those kind of sound. So when they flip, they have to like jump a lot. So the thinner it is, the better. But we'll talk about that in the next section.
Alright. Okay, so for the next segment, we'll test out the different types of qinzhu that we have. The first one that we have is a puji set of qinzhu. Puji means starter grade. Okay, so here you go.
Alright, so thank you. So as you said, this is the beginner grade, starter grade or type of yangqin sticks. So why do we say that? It's because the whole stick itself is very sturdy. It doesn't provide much flexibility, which is a good thing for beginners, because you have to learn to have full control of your sticks. Because the previous section we said that some sticks they like to jump a lot, but then I would discourage that, because once you have full control of your stick and understanding your stick, that's where you use the proper technique to do that to do this effect. So for beginners, I will try it. So beginners, the sticks, they are always heavier because it encourages you to use more of your wrist, to lift up more, to play the right sound. So beginner, we always play, like etudes or just practicing pieces, basics. So it's like. As you can hear, all the sounds like very loud, very resonating, and that's what we hope that beginners learn first. Because I don't encourage people who play yangqin for a while to get this type of sticks, because it doesn't help with when you're playing running notes like. Even when I play using these heavier sticks, it tends to pull me down, like you're carrying a really heavy bag and you can't run. It's that kind of logic for me. So it's good for beginners to still use this to start learning like the semi-quavers and all those like. as they slowly progress, then they can opt for better or lighter sticks, which we'll be looking at the next one.
Alright. Okay. Okay, the next pair of sticks we're going to test is this pair by Yuehua, and this is just a slightly better pair than the starter grade that we have. So here we go, Anson.
Alright, so thank you. So as you know, Yuehua is a very famous yangqin brand. So usually these sticks you can obtain it when you buy a pair of, you buy a yangqin, Yuehua yangqin. So these are usually, factory made, but it's still not too bad. So it's like a good next step forward as you move on from the beginner sticks. So why? It's because it has a thinner body, as you can compare with the beginner sticks. So do you have it with you, the beginner sticks? Oh, okay. So as you can see here, the beginner sticks very thick, and and then these are thinner. So what does this mean? From my perspective, because when I'm playing yangqin, as a beginner, the sticks are like very thick and it's very distracting for me. Yeah, but the thinner one is good and it's lighter, so you can play even faster thing. So it's lighter, you can play faster, and then it still maintains some of the weight on the head. Yeah, so this is the only difference from the beginner. It's still slightly sturdier, but it boasts a thinner body, which is maybe it's more quaint for female players. Yeah, like it's very gentle looking, very thin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it happens to come with
yes, it does come with three colors, I believe. So we have the black one, the brown one, I would say, and the usual off-white beige, light brown type. So it's up to your personal preferences on which color you like. I prefer the black one.
Alright, the last sticks that we have with us today are these sticks by Quincy Lee. Quincy Lee is one of the great yangqin masters from China, but unfortunately he passed away early this year.
May he rest in peace.
Yes. So Anson, could you have a look at these sticks?
Alright, so Quincy Lee is really one of the greatest yangqin masters of our time. And his signature sticks it's flexible at the right amount. And it combines everything that we yangqin players like. So the head is just the right amount of the weight, the handle is just nice, and then it provides the appropriate amount of flexibility to play. And then Quincy Lee sticks, it's good to play more traditional pieces, like Han Tian Lei. So it's I did this technique, it's called the qinzhus. So this kind of technique is what I said, where the flexibility of the stick must be within the control of the player, because earlier we say how back then people like to take a knife and then they carve it to thinner so it jumps more. But no, what I think now is that people need to have a great control of the sticks, so it won't be too soft. Once it's too thin, it jumps too much. You have a variety of problems. The sound might be too soft or too much or too little. Yeah, so it's within control. So Quincy is really one of the best sticks that you can find out there. And we come in two types of Quincy Lee sticks. So this one is the normal one where there's holes, as part of the design. So another one is a very signature Quincy Lee stick look. So it has the
dragon.
Yeah, the dragon. This is the dragon Quincy Lee sticks, and it has the dragon etched onto the head of the stick. Yeah. It's just design.
Okay.
But it's what Quincy Lee is famous for. His sticks.
Any difference in the sound and the playing?
So compared to this one, I would say it's near similar, but this provides even greater control because it's I would say it's newer compared to this one. So it puts into thought of the sturdiness of it, and it's not but it doesn't jump too much, and it's within your own control.
Okay.
So this is really one of the top, I would say, one of the best sticks I've used today.
Alright. Okay, can you play something on it for us?
So Quincy Lee. Okay, so let's just play one of Quincy Lee's work. It's
Okay.
called Xixun. So it's a fast-paced piece. So using the right sticks will result in the best sound for you. So it's this Xixun.
Okay, thank you Anson once again for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you find this video useful, and if you have any questions or any comments, do leave at the message box below. And I'll see you soon. Bye.